Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Monday. Okay, guys, I cannot believe now I'm officially allowed to have up the Christmas tree, which is great. I hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving and just an amazing weekend, really. Maybe you did the shopping, maybe you didn't, but whatever. Hopefully, you had some good food. And we are back today with lives again. Thank you. So, hot, messy topics today at 12 p.m. Eastern with Jason and I. We have a lot to go over, and we also have a special guest calling in who is on one of the current Housewives shows. So hopefully she can make it. She wants to clear something up with all of you. Now, with that, we're back to talk about Lisa Vanderpump and this lawsuit situation, which I'm also going to address on Hot Messy Topics. Let's do it.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
All right, guys. So you know that we worked for Lisa Vanderpump, Jason and I, for a long time. And I honestly love Lisa Vanderpump. And I think that Ken is great. They've always been nothing but kind and amazing to me. And I saw that there was this lawsuit out there. And I just wanted to address it because, well, it's the right thing to do. It's not my fight. No, definitely not. But if I know something, if you see something, say something. And I see something and I'm going to say something. And that's just that. Let's get into it. So, Reality Blurb came out with this article saying Lisa Vanderpump and Ken Todd are under fire for failing to pay a $490,000 settlement awarded to Ernest R. Bennick and other employees who accused the couple of refusing to give them overtime pay, meal breaks, and more. Now, over 3 years after their class action lawsuit was filed against Lisa and Ken, as well as their Pump LLC, also alleging that they violated labor codes, Ernest argued in court documents that the former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills couple falsely claimed that Pump, which closed in July, had no assets. Okay. According to court documents obtained by the U.S. Sun on November 3rd, Ernest filed a motion on behalf of him and others in August for the approval of the settlement amount, which includes $171,500 in attorney's fees and $7,500 for his extensive efforts in prosecuting this case. In the case against Lisa and Ken, who are also seen on Vanderpump Rules, it was estimated that over 14,000 worker hours had been clocked between August 6th and this is 2016 and December 1st, 2022. And the amount owed was suspected to be nearly $2 million. But in response to Ernest's motion, Lisa and Ken's attorney said that Pump does not intend to perform the terms of the mediated settlement agreement, but would be willing to discuss alternatives with the plaintiff's counsel. The attorney also mentioned the closing of Pump, noting it was shuttered due to the ongoing back rent and future rent issues with the restaurant's landlord, coupled with the pandemic closure period and an overall downturn in business, and stated that the company has no assets remaining. The company is working through and renegotiating several $100,000 in unpaid rent and vendor invoices as part of the wind down process. That's what the attorney added. So before I finish this, I just wanted to say something really quick. When I was getting ready to move, I was packing up my stuff and I was, packing up my house in Florida and I was coming up here to South Carolina. This was literally, what is today? Monday, the 27th. I think this was October 20th, 21st, 25th. I don't know. So it was at the end of October. And there was a letter that came in the mail. And I was like sitting there and I said to my mom, I was like, oh my God, because they asked me, I was getting my dog Cosequin because, long story, getting my dog Cosequin because her little joints were hurting. And then the woman said, would you like to take $5 and donate a pet or a toy to a pet? And I said, yes, of course. And mom's like, you paid it forward. Or now somebody else can do something nice, whatever. Then I go to my mailbox, open the mailbox, and there's a check. And I was like, check for what? And it said this attorney's name. And I opened it and it was a whole thing about wages and clock in things and like back pay. It wasn't a huge check by any means. So just want to clear that up. And I'm not going to tell you guys the amount, but it was because, it was because of this situation. So something was paid out. And that's what I wanted to say. There was obviously something, some sort of settlement, some kind of anything. I don't know, but something was paid out. Maybe it has nothing to do with this, but if you're talking about workers' hours and back pay and breaks and stuff like that, that's the same thing that my check referred to. And then Jason looked at me and he said, do I not get a check? I said, no, fool. You were salary. I was in the trenches. Okay, back to it. Following the attorney statements, however, Ernest clapped back, accusing Lisa and Todd of making false and self-serving claims. Defendants omit the fact that the restaurant reopened in or around August 2023 at a new location. They wrote seemingly in nods to the reports that this year, well, Pump would be reopening next to Tom Tom, which it has yet to do. They didn't reopen Pump next to Tom Tom. They literally took the Tom Tom Lounge and started calling it Pump. Ernest also denied that Lisa and Ken laid off their remaining employees, citing a brazen and troublesome interview in which Lisa said the staff at Pump will come over to the new version of Pump. Many of these loyal employees have worked at Pump for over a decade. He then blasted, and to be fair, I was just there, and there are Pump employees working at Tom Tom. So that part is true. He then blasted Ken for bragging that he is a multimillionaire individual, noting that he and Lisa can clearly pay to fund the settlement, but they don't want to. Indeed, this is the third lawsuit brought against a restaurant owned by Todd and Lisa Vanderpump, and it is not the first time that Ken attempt to ignore his legal duties and even court-issued orders in funding settlements. That's what the plaintiff continued. In fact, in another case, Todd was in violation of a court order for failing to fund the employer's share of taxes and only funded them when sanctions were threatened by the court. While Todd may be a famous personality and television star, neither he nor anyone else is above the law, yet Ken Todd seems to at times think that he is above the law and can skirt his legal duties, violate court orders, or do as he pleases, no matter who the victim of his legal failures is. Now, the report went on to state that while Ken and Lisa signed an enforceable settlement agreement to resolve this punitive class action, the case could still go to trial. Maybe, okay, so they did sign an enforceable settlement agreement to resolve this class action. So then maybe that is the check that I got. I'm just saying, because there's something here where I was reading comments and people were like, this is bullshit, that they have more than enough money, that they should be paying these things out. I don't know the full argument, so I'm not going to speak on it like that. But I do know when I worked for them, and I know when Jason worked for them, that they treated us very, very well. And I know for a fact also, if I ever needed a break or anything, I could just ask for it. But really, in the space that we were in, you wouldn't, like, servers and bartenders, different for bartenders because they pulled, but for servers, you wouldn't really ask to take a break, because if you do, then you're giving up a section or one of your tables in your section, another server's picking it up. And if that table only flips 3 or 4 times in one night, and you have a 4-table section, that's 4, 8, 12, 16 tables for the night, and you just lost, let's say, 3 of them, and those people end up sitting there for like 2 hours and they end up staying because they're waiting to see Lisa, you just lost a shit ton of money. So we would never give up our hours for, we honestly just do what you got to do before you come in. We had some people who they would drink margaritas. We had some people who they would just like go to Chipotle and they would have food. We had some people who would go to the gym before. Whatever you needed to do, that was your break. We didn't take one as servers because we were there to hustle. But I want to hear what your thoughts are, because I know it applies differently to everyone. Also, Jason's going to be jumping in on this conversation. Again, don't forget that we have a special housewife calling into hot, messy topics today. I am going to pin the link in the comment section of this video. That way you can join us at 12 p.m. Eastern. I love you guys so much. I want to hear what your thoughts are about all of this. So go ahead and comment below. Bye, guys. See you next time.